Hello. This video is going to be a little bit different than it usually is. Usually I play a video game or I live stream a video game. In this video, since the Nintendo Switch is pretty close to ending its life cycle, I wanted to talk about some of my favorite Switch games that I've had throughout the years. And even though I kind of neglected the system as a whole, there are still some games that will always be part of my gaming catalog, if that makes sense. So, starting at number 5, I think we'll start from number 5. Number 5 is Mario Kart, and honestly, this game, it's a good game, and it's a good party game, basically. And Mario Kart's a classic, but it falls at the bottom of my list because there are games that I feel like that are much better than it. I love it, but I'm ready for the next iteration of it, if that makes sense. Basically, I feel like the lifespan of Mario Kart 8 is not over, but like, I think there needs to be a new Mario Kart game, if that makes sense. But it will always live on as one of my favorite games. You know, we play it all the time, me and my wife, or like when I bring the Switch up, my family members, we play it. It's just an enjoyable game for everyone, and that's what I love about it. Number 4 is going to have to be Animal Crossing, and I feel like this game's got a special place in everyone's heart, or at least everyone that played it. This is a game that came out during the pandemic. It was kind of a time where there was some video games coming out, but a lot of video games and different things were on halt because of the pandemic. And Animal Crossing came out right at the beginning of the pandemic and was just kind of like a wonderful thing for a lot of people, to be able to play that game and put so many hours into that game, kind of carefree, besides, you know, being able to pay bills and stuff like that, but not having to worry about certain things and being able to go off into this remote island and just kind of be there, build your village up, and it was nice. And I think that for a lot of people it was kind of an irreplaceable game. For number 3, and I think this is on everyone's top 5 list, is Super Smash Ultimate. And the reason I love this game so much is I grew up playing the Smash games. I grew up playing Melee and Brawl and the original one on the 64. I grew up playing those games, and I just loved having the thought of who would win in a contest between Link and Mario, you know. Link always wins, obviously, because Link is the best. But playing that as a kid, and then I took a break from it. I didn't play it for a long time because I didn't have any consoles that played it. I didn't even have a console for most of my life. I'd usually play it at friends' houses, but being an adult and not really having the time or the money to fork over for a Nintendo console, it wasn't a game that I played very often, and I missed that. So being able to play Smash Ultimate was kind of like a dream come true, if that makes sense. It was a game that I missed. I knew the mechanics right off the bat. Just by picking up a controller and playing, I knew almost immediately how to play the game. And that's something that is beautiful about the game, is that it's a game that has a learning curve, but it's still a game that you can just pick up and play almost. It's a good game, and that's why it sits at number 3 on my list. Number 2 on my list, we'll have to go to, and if you notice what I'm playing, I'm a big Zelda fan. My number 2 goes to Tears of the Kingdom. Tears of the Kingdom was a fantastic game. Is a fantastic game. Playing it, I put in probably 200 hours within the first couple weeks, easily, playing Tears of the Kingdom. It was right at the end of my busy time, so I was able to kind of fork over some of my time to the game, and it was nice to be able to play this game and be able to play Tears of the Kingdom and to be able to enjoy that. Tears of the Kingdom falls at number 2 for me though, however, because while it was enjoyable and while I felt the freedom of it, the freedom is kind of the reason why it sits at number 2 for me. I mean, there was so much to it, and for some reason for me, it just felt almost too much, if that makes sense. My number 1, if you can't tell by the game I'm playing, is Breath of the Wild. Like I was saying, this game, there's like a mystery to this game. Alright, so for me, Breath of the Wild was the first time I played a Zelda game in a long time. Zelda's my favorite series. It has been for a long time. Basically, since I was a kid. I played Ocarina of Time. I played some of the Game Boy games. And I grew up loving Zelda. So, after having been away from it for a long time, and then being able to come back into Breath of the Wild, not knowing anything, to be able to come back into this game was so mysterious to me. I had no idea what was going on. I had no idea the story, the environment. I didn't even realize that it was an open world game until I booted it up and it was like, oh, here's what you can do. If I could go back and erase a game from my memory so I could replay it again, it would be Breath of the Wild. I'm jealous of people who have the chance and opportunity to be able to play Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, and basically any Zelda game for that matter, for the first time. There's so many different ways that you can solve problems. That's why I love it so much. Looking forward to the future of Nintendo. Alright, thank you for joining me, and I will see you in the next one.